to talk to all these countries because they want to talk and they want to talk now. And they have come with offers that they never, ever, ever would have come with, but for the moves that the president has made, demanding that people treat the United States with respect. We're getting the respect we deserve now, and I think you're going to see historic deals, one after the other. And then I'm very excited that within a week and a half, we're going to start with the gold card. And the Trump card is coming out, and we're very excited about that, and that's coming soon. So very excited.
Wow. So I heard that they reduced spending by 1/12 already.
1/12.
You know, I just be sitting here and be thinking, like, what would happen right now if Kamala was in office?
I think about that sometimes too.
Like, and then I just think about, they said that we're not getting transparency though. That's just what we're not. I mean, it's not transparency.
Everything
That's exactly
he do,
what we're getting.
Everything he do or sign, he comes and talk about it.
It's recorded.
Yeah.
The media's there all the time. They couldn't do this with Joe Biden because he was asleep half the time.
He didn't know what they were talking about.
Well, thanks to your fantastic leadership, this amazing cabinet, and the very talented Doge team, I'm excited to announce that we anticipate savings in FY26 from reduction of waste and fraud by $150 billion. And I mean, and some of it is just absurd, like people getting unemployment insurance who haven't been born yet. I mean, I think anyone can appreciate whether, I mean, come on, that's just crazy. You know, some of these things, people ask me like, well, how are you going to find waste and fraud in the government? I'm like, well, actually just go in any direction. That's how you find it. Wow. It's very
any
common.
direction. That's crazy.
it's as the military would say, target-rich environment. So I think we're doing a lot of good and excellent collaboration with the cabinet to achieve these savings. And it will actually result in better services for the American people, and that we're going to be spending their tax dollars in a way that is sensible and fair and good.
Mr. President, we just got back from Panama last night. We were at the Panama Canal with their Southcom commander ships, F-18s, troops, and signed a couple of historic deals. One which is with the Panama Canal Authority, a framework for U.S. vessels, first and free through the Panama Canal. Right. And then also a memorandum of understanding with their security minister for the presence of U.S. troops. Fort Sherman is an old U.S. base there, as well as a naval station and air station jointly with Panama to secure the Panama Canal from Chinese influence. That's something you said, we're taking back the canal. China's had too much influence. Obama and others let them creep in. We, along with Panama, are pushing him out, sir. And so we had a very successful trip there. President Molino sends his regards, very complimentary of the U.S. as he's a great ally, and I think they want the Communist Chinese out. And with our troops there partnering with their forces, we've got a chance to push them all the way out, sir.
The Doge thing, though. Imagine 1 year in how much fraud Doge is going to find, bro.
Lots.
It's been a couple months.
3 months.
You think Doge is going to small cities and like doing investigations for like small counties or no?
I don't know, but if
well,
they
that's
keep
why they got the
spreading-
self-reporting thing, you know, that they were talking about. Because it's gonna take. They're not gonna be able to go look on small, you know, every government office for mayors and stuff, but they can reward the people that do, you know?
They need to go to California.
So they're going to spend a lot of time out there.
Oh, what about if they go to Tiffany Harry?
I was thinking about that, but they already
Dalton
got
County.
her. If the FBI got her.
The regular people there got her.
Yeah, it's over with. But nah, this right here, I've been thinking a lot about this. And we don't care about how the Chinese feel, but maybe we should just a little bit.
No, we should. It's business. You know, we gotta make this work for us, but at the same time, I think that the US and China benefit from doing business with one another.
But we just went there and just took over the Panama Canal, bro.
But we built it.
We built it, but we gave it to them.
I think we gave it to the Panama, and it was supposed to be a
China
treaty.
took it over.
It was supposed to be a treaty between the United States and Panama, and then Panama broke the treaty. So
they said they controlled the Panama Canal.
They controlled it.
Yeah, because China went over there and did some crazy.
I don't know exactly what they did, but somehow they controlled it.
Yeah, and that's breaking the treaty between. Bro, it's a treaty between the United States and the Panama. Because you know how many soldiers died? Not even soldiers, like American soldiers. I keep saying soldiers. American people died by digging and building the Panama Canal.
No, I know the story. I know the history of it.
So they gave it as like who was it? Jimmy Carter? It wasn't Carter or Clinton. One of them gave the Panama Canal back to the Panama, and then Panama broke the treaty. It's pretty much our stuff, bro. It's just something we built, you know.
Yeah, so they didn't get a hold of the Panama. They just grew influence in Panama.
Yeah, they somehow got it to where it's
Through
working out
economic-
for them well there.
By economic diplomatic ties.
So they don't officially control it, but
They control it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
like unofficially they do. Not on paper.
So they don't own it.
Not on paper, no.
Yeah, so they actually don't own it. When people say that, that's not true.
We took back the Panama Canal.
Well, yeah, hey, we got soldiers there now. So if they pull up, I wouldn't
There's
do
some
it.
Marines, all type of shit probably had to.
I wouldn't do it.
Where is Panama on the map?
It's at the end of Mexico.
Like Central America?
Yeah, it's like right before Mexico and South America connect. It's literally in between that.
Oh yeah, I see.
That boy Trump got a hold of the Panama Canal, man. This the gangster of the year, y'all.
And lastly, sir, as you know, declassification and rooting out weaponization, politicization of the intelligence community is a huge priority. You know more than anyone else the very dangerous and negative consequences of that. I've got a long list of things that we're investigating. We have the best of the best going after this. Election integrity being one of them. We have evidence of how these electronic voting systems have been vulnerable to hackers for a very long time and vulnerable to exploitation to manipulate the results of the votes being cast, which further drives forward your mandate to bring about paper ballots across the country so that voters can have faith in the integrity of our elections. And lastly, we've been scanning. I've had over 100 people working around the clock to scan the paper around RFK, Senator Robert F. Kennedy's assassination, as well as Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. These have been sitting in boxes in storage for decades. They have never been scanned or seen before. We'll have those ready to release here within the next few days.
Sure, you know, black people talking about Trump don't support y'all. He trying to see who killed Martin Luther King.
We already know who killed Martin.
Well, they still doing an investigation.
They don't know the man who pulled the trigger's name though. They just know it was a 3-letter agency, alleged.
You know, I got the hotel that Martin Luther King got killed at on my arm.
Yeah, but then some say that
The Lorraine Hotel.
He was suffocated in the hospital after. Well, I don't know.
Unemployment insurance fraud. That trust needs to be whole for the American people. When we need it for who deserves it. That's not what we're seeing in the numbers that we saw last night, again, exposed by our partners at Doge at the Department of Labor. Since 2020, over $400 million of payments have gone out already. And when you hear these numbers, apparently in the United States, we have over almost 25,000 people who are over 115 years old who are collecting $59 million that we have sent out to people.
59 million?
Talk about fraudulent behavior.
Yeah,
Mr.
fraud.
President, 28,000 people between 1 and 5 years old have collected fraudulent payments at the tune of $254 million has gone out. And lastly, 10,000 people who have not been born yet, 15 years into the future, $69 million, and they haven't even been born yet. When one case,
Who's the
they will be
scammers,
born
bro?
129 years from now. The United States government sent them $41,000, and they're not born yet. So, under the Department of Labor, those are the things that we're uncovering. I couldn't be more honored to tell the American people that we're bringing back their dollars and we're saving them and returning them to the United States Treasury.
Wow.
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm not surprised about this because I remember in 2020, everybody was like, signed up for the California unemployment.
No, that's what.
Unemployment insurance.
That was a big thing of fraud was the unemployment that people were doing during COVID.
Oh, yeah. That was
So-
before the PPP.
That's what I'm
it was
saying.
like the
The
same.
unemployment,
I
yeah.
remember
Everybody
lots of
was-
people were getting it.
Everybody said, you got signed up for the California
I think
unemployment.
there's people getting it right now still.
So I'm not surprised.
I tried. I ain't gonna incriminate myself, but
it's a lot of scammers out here, so I'm not surprised.
But I feel like there's somebody in the system who was allowing this to happen. You know? Like whose job was it to watch over these things before?
Yeah, and they're closing their eyes. Green.
That's
green,
crazy.
Green.
Then we got the politician's salary going up by
Taxpayer
millions.
money, man.
But I'm just curious: is there politicians that are like benefiting off of this?
Yes.
I can't see a regular politician because that's like I feel like that's stupid.
Congress, bro.
I don't think nobody in Congress is doing that, bro.
Did we forget
I
the
don't
lady that was in? I don't know what was the council, city council.
You talking about Stacey Adams?
No, bro. The lady that was an immigrant that we were laughing at. I said she might be an immigrant. She ended up being an immigrant. Then she was giving her family member like $5,000.
Yes,
That's happening.
But unemployment?
What you mean?
Like,
Black people give unemployment all day right now.
It's people getting unemployment right now that are definitely, probably not qualified to get it.
That shit crazy, bro.
With your tax dollars, you
Somebody-
paying it. You paying it. You paying for them, Taj.
Wow.
Man, that shit hurt when you pay taxes and you know this shit happening like this, bro.
That's why when you pay taxes, they teach you, hey, man, who you vote for matters.
It hurts more.
You better vote. This is how I know God is real. Because I was literally about to go to a sleep doctor because I really struggled to sleep.
He was.
And then we actually just happened to,
Ran across Beam.
find out about Beam. And so I was okay, I'll try this first. And it has literally solved my problem. Like, I think the biggest keys here are what are the ingredients? We got the melatonin, the magnesium, and the theanine. All of those like combined, because I've heard of all these things separately, but when you combine them all, it's like you get in the bed and you feel like something's weighing you down. Like that's how you don't feel like moving. And then you wake up and
I remember you said that I felt like I sunk in the bed.
That's how I felt. Yeah, and it helps me relax my mind before I get to bed. So you can turn on some Cartier Family, lay down, hit the Beam, go to sleep. All right, guys. So what you want to do is go to beam.com and put in the discount code Cartier, and that's gonna get you 35% off. That's not no little discount. That is a big discount, y'all. Beam is really blessing. It's a company that has value similar to ours, and they really just want to help. So 35% off with the code Cartier.
The Democrats, as I noted this morning, have said that we're going to gut Medicaid. It is not true. We're going to protect the benefits that everyone is legally entitled to. The beneficiaries who have a legal right to that, it will be preserved. Those are essential safety net programs that Republicans support. The president has made clear Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid will not take a hit. So you can count on that, and you can watch it develop as we go.
You oversee the Medicaid program. Do you think they're looking for $880 billion in savings over 10 years? The fraud number is somewhere between $30 and $50 billion a year. Do you think that they can cut that money out of Medicaid? And is it something you support, those cuts?
The fraud.
Well, I certainly support any cut of waste or misuse or fraud. And we're in a very good position now to identify that and to eliminate it because we have Doge working with us, and they've been really extraordinary about finding fraud in all of the agencies. And they're being very helpful with us. So we think we're going to be able to identify it and eliminate it.
While
incidentally protecting the Medicaid, while protecting the Medicaid program and improving services to our poorest Americans.
You oversee the Medicaid.
Thank you. Only thing I kind of see like what's wrong with Medicaid, it might be a problem, is like think about a doctor that like they know you have an insurance, so they're just gonna tax higher into the insurance company so they could just get a bigger profit for their business.
That was Sonny Holst's husband got hit up with.
That's why I can also see that. Well, some people are doing that, bro.
Well, that's why they got a lawsuit going on because that's fraud.
And also, I seen the RFK and Trump and them were talking about it. I saw it somewhere, I think with PBD or something. They're trying to make it to where like hospitals and things are more clear with what you're getting charged for. Because like you could go and they'll say, hey, do you want this? Do you want that? And you just say, yeah, because you think that's what you need. But then one option was like $5,000. One option was like $1,000. So it's like they'll just
scam.
Yeah. So they got to be more transparent. Like, how much is it? I think that they're getting in trouble for that. So hopefully that will help.
Shit, I was told as soon as you hear, you paying $5,000.
No, you are paying something. Yeah, you gotta ask. You gotta anything you do up there. You better ask how much. How much?
I was watching something, bro, and these people like passed out, and they woke up in the ambulance, and then they just said, "Oh, wait, hold on,
get me out this bitch."
They stopped the car. They stopped it. They jumped out.
They said that's $500.
Hey, you drove
No, it's more than
halfway.
$500. I think it's $5,000.
They said, "Hey, we got you halfway, brother. You gonna get half of that bill."
Yeah, they will.
That shit's crazy. Hey, but nah, that's why, you know what I'm saying? We can point in any direction. We can go to Medicaid. We can go to the voting. We can go to the immigrants. We can go to the media. We can go everywhere.
Inflation,
it's fraud.
eggs.
Damn.
Everything though, everything that he ran on and campaigned on, these are the things that are being done.
The one issue that he is doing relatively well at is on immigration. And there's a kind of line of argumentation that comes from certain quarters, which is Democrats should just keep quiet about that. And you can't convince people on this stuff, and they kind of want to see these deportations. I wonder how you feel about that in terms of making an affirmative case here about why this practice that they have put into effect is indeed wrong, and whether that's a case that you can effectively make.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can always make an effective case, Chris, but I will tell you that what this tells us, though, is that their propaganda is working, right? And that is what's so dangerous. This administration has someone that is heading up DHS that is going out there cosplaying with guns that it's clear she don't even know how to operate the guns. And, she's taking these photos, with people, and they're telling them, yeah, they're Venezuelan gang members, right? And so they are telling people, listen, we're getting rid of the bad people, right? And we don't have enough stories because obviously they decided they were going to get rid of due process to know whether or not you really are going and getting the bad guys. There's somebody straight out of Dallas, Texas, who literally was snatched up and sent off to this same place because he had an autism tattoo, and so they don't know the real stories. They only know what they're presented with. And we know that for whatever reason, when Trump and his cronies present lies, the American people fall in love. But the reality of this administration is a whole other story. Crazy tariff war that nobody asked for, where he basically is invoking emergency powers, the same thing that he did under the Alien Enemies Act. Like, the fact that no one is questioning his mental acuity or fitness to serve is beyond wild to me, right? Like, the fact that they sat around, called Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe Biden, and as I said before, at least you could sleep at night because you didn't have to worry about your 401k disappearing overnight. You didn't have to worry about these allegations of fake invasions. You didn't have to worry about the cost of food just skyrocketing or skyrocketing cost of all of your electronics. The fact that Apple was flying in planes of iPhones before the tariffs hit, like, this is crazy work for no reason. So, I just hope that people remember, because seemingly they got amnesia the first time. And so you've got opportunities to vote. And I will tell you that every single special election we've had, Democrats are swinging no less than 15 points. But honestly, we should be swinging 30 and 40 points because of the level of incompetence and harm that this administration is bringing upon all of us.
All you can do is laugh at that, man. That's all you can do.
She just really questioned Trump's ability, but never once questioned Joe's. And then turn around and use that to justify her argument.
It's okay that Joe falling asleep. That make you want to fall asleep good at night.
Like, no. That's the man who is preventing war.
He just said he want a fair deal. I don't see nothing wrong with that. It's supposed to help benefit us. I don't know.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about
Grace Baptist.
what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
That's not a good thing.
You're not. We done picking cotton. We are.
Crazy.
You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. I know that's right. So I had to go around the country.
So that's racist, bro. That is literally racist.
Literally racist.
Like, you're
like,
trying
we
to
don't
bring...
call nothing racist unless it's very, like, this is blatant
This is
racism, bro.
This is classism.
We not finna go pick that cotton. We need these illegals so they can go pick the cotton.
Actually, it's like racism, classism. It's all isms in itself. But I promise you, if a Republican would have said that right now, if a Republican would have said
that is actually
supremacist.
200 times worse than black jobs, brother.
That is worse than black jobs.
200 times. That's way worse. Black jobs wasn't even bad. I actually had somebody tell me the other day, hey, Trump was low-key right about that.
We know a lot of things, bro. A lot of things that people were arguing, we just see he's right about.
it's uncomfortably
the truth.
That's it. It's literally
well, they are doing that. What are you saying?
They're going to have us back in chains.
Republicans are proposing new spending for border security funding in this forthcoming budget bill. Is that something that your conference will support, that sort of security investment?
We have to look at the particulars. We believe that we need to secure the border, make sure that it is safe and strong,
that the
I hate this
law,
consistent with America as a country of a nation of laws, is fully and completely implemented at the border. We believe we have a broken immigration system and we need to fix it.
I'm so sorry, y'all. He might be actually worse than Kamala, bro.
All he said was right there is that we got America and we got borders.
We have
Okay,
a border.
In
We have
law.
to continue to make it strong with the laws that we have in the United States.
we got a border. We're
At
gonna
the
make it
border.
strong.
Well, there's a reason why he have to talk to that, because the audience he have that support him, I think it's not clicking in their mind. So he had to probably break it down like that.
Not
to
everybody's
people.
dumb, and if you continue to talk dumb, you're never gonna win a swing state.
I'm just saying.
They
bro.
look, they continuing down the same path, man.
As a country
What
of a
can he
nation
say?
of laws, is
Duh.
fully and completely implemented at the border.
At the border.
We believe we have a broken immigration system and we need to fix it
Fix it.
At the
in
border.
a comprehensive and in a bipartisan way. And we also believe that we must always defend dreamers, farm workers, and law-abiding immigrant families and protect them from aggressive overreach by the Trump administration. Those are the principles that we have consistently articulated publicly and privately to our Republican colleagues as it relates to finding some common ground on the immigration issue.
Hey, bro. So they're not talking about all the people that were getting sex trafficked at the border that Trump is saving right now, though.
Yeah, they're not talking
You
about
talking
that.
about saving people?
They're not
Come
talking
on, bro.
about the fentanyl that came across the border that's
Come on,
killing
bro.
thousands of Americans right now.
Come on, bro.
Let's not talk about the weapons that's probably came through the border as well. But
You know
we're
that's
not
where they
saying-
take all the stolen cars from right here, right to Mexico, because it's just right there. Anybody could whip it out there.
Well, we don't know that. They still probably got laws up. Well, I don't know. Can't say that. You got the cartel.
That's what I don't think they worried about the stolen cars, man. They got bigger fish to fry.
Bro, do y'all know that the judge, I guess, ordered for them Venezuelan people to come back, the Venezuelan gang people to come back?
Yeah, so they can have a properly trial.
It's something to do though. I don't even think it's that. I think it's something to do with Venezuela. Or
That's
you talking about the
crazy.
MS-13 people that went to that prison?
Yeah, they
Yes.
trying to have a fair trial for them. That's what some arguments I have been seeing on the internet. I don't know if it's actually true or not.
I mean,
but-
if you MS-13, brother, they will tell you what they own.
So the judge said these illegal immigrants that came across have rights in the United States before they get shipped back home.
Well, the Supreme Court, in an unsigned order, essentially allowed a lower court order that said, from Judge Boasberg, now you got to bring that deported El Salvador illegal alien back to the United States. Can't remain in that supermax prison. Well, the court essentially said you got to facilitate it. So that just broke before the show. Joining me now, Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt. Senator, well,
You like Peyton
here we
Manning.
go. We got a massive problem with illegal immigration in the United States. The voters made it clear they wanted Donald Trump to do something about it. Donald Trump tries to take measures, sometimes, I guess, extraordinary
that's what
measures
it
to
was.
keep us
The
safe.
dude, he's from Maryland.
And yet the courts say,
What I read.
no,
Yeah.
we're going to step in as the commander in chief and essentially do your job.
Well, I think that it's important to give context here, Laura, as this is breaking. I just had a chance to review the order before coming on your show, and it's very limited. This guy is deportable. This guy is a gang member. He is an MS-13 member, and they can deport him. They just couldn't deport him to El Salvador, evidently. So at the end of the day, this guy's going to be gone, and he should be gone, and there are hundreds of thousands more like him. This mass deportation effort, the American people, as you said, voted for this. We need more of it. And Judge Boasberg was slapped down earlier this week when he tried to intervene in the core Article 2 powers of the President of the United States. So as all these cases make their way through, the President's well within his authority to do it. In this specific example that just happened here, he's going to get deported, and he should. It just will be somewhere else other than El Salvador.
I actually don't know what their agenda is with that, man, because they're not going to be able to vote. So
Well, I feel like he's probably doing it if they had one false incident. I can see why they try to make sure.
Make it the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the dude, okay, so hearing that, because what I read, it did say he couldn't go back to El Salvador. I guess that was the issue with him. So it made me think that he was not
MS-13 member.
I guess even Twitter, even Grok, y'all just heard me read it.
what did they say?
Grok said.
What did Grok say?
So you think he was just an illegal immigrant, but just not an MS-13 member?
I don't know.
Whoa,
no,
whoa,
I
whoa,
think
whoa,
he's
whoa.
definitely a member.
Whoa.
Okay,
whoa.
it said, here's his name. He's mistakenly deported to El Salvador in March. Oh, but he's not American. He was from Salvador with protected legal status in the U.S. And the deportation was called an administrative error by ICE. He wasn't supposed to be sent to that prison.
Okay,
basically.
maybe.
So he wasn't supposed to go.
He went to the wrong prison.
Yeah.
But that guy
I
just
think he's
said he
supposed to be
was-
just be deported. Period. But there's something that said he in El Salvador.
But he just said that he was a MS-13 member. So who not really knows? You know?
You don't know anything.
Yeah, like how would you confirm unless you got the tattoo? So maybe you know.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying. His lawyers are arguing that he's not MS-13.
Well, we gonna get him out. If he not or not, if he is or not, send his ass up the road. But that's maybe let's not send him to the max prison, maybe, because we technically don't
Well,
know.
he's probably it's a difference getting sent to prison and just getting deported. You know?
This is crazy though.
This just happened.
Yes.
Dramatic video showing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents arresting convicted sex offender 21-year-old Ander Cortez Mendez in Falls Church, Virginia on April 2nd. U.S. border agents arrested Cortez Mendez after they say he illegally entered the U.S. near the Rio Grande Valley in Texas in 2018, ICE saying he was supposed to appear before an immigration judge but didn't show up to court. According to ICE, he was arrested in Fairfax County for an alleged sex crime last year in March.
Let him out.
Agents issued a detainer against Cortez Mendez with the Fairfax County Adult Detention Center. And then on May 20th of last year, a Fairfax County judge gave him a 3-month suspended sentence after he was found guilty of having sex with the child. Despite being found guilty, ICE says Fairfax County officials did not honor ICE's detainer and released Cortez Mendez back into the community in Northern Virginia. And then last Wednesday, that is when the ICE agents are.
Yeah, I'm starting to think these liberal judges might be a little funny boned, man.
To be honest with you, this shit is actually kind of scary because I'm pretty sure they're gonna make sure they lock other motherfuckers up. If I hop in Mexico and commit a crime, they're gonna let me out the next day.
Breaking moments ago, new data shows wholesale prices easing this month. Matt Egan is joining us now to kind of walk us through this new information. So what are we finding out?
Well, Jessica, this is the second day in a row we're getting some encouraging news on the cost of living. The one catch, and it is a big one, is that it does not fully capture the impact of the trade war, right? This is measuring prices in March before the full impact of all of the tariff increases. But let me run you through the numbers first. So we're talking about the producer price index. This is wholesale inflation before it gets to all of us as consumers. And we were expecting an increase in prices month over month. We did not get that. We got a drop in prices. Look at this, 0.4%. That is much better than anticipated. The annual rate, we were anticipating around 3.3%. We did not get that. We got a much lower number, 2.7%. This is a deceleration. And when we look at the trend, we can see that things have certainly improved from a few years ago when it comes to inflation. This metric, graphic's not up right now, but this metric was around 11,
I want you to do it from memory.
12%. So it was really, really high. It has come down significantly. Now, why was this number better than expected? There's a few factors. One of them is energy, right? We've seen oil prices plunge. That has lowered the cost of energy when you think about gasoline
gas
and
is good
diesel.
right now.
So that's one of the things. Of course, Energy is not only getting cheaper for good reasons, some of that is recession fears. The other big factor here was egg prices, and I know that's something that everyone is following very closely. And we did see some good news on eggs. Egg prices, they fell month over month by 21% at the wholesale level. That is very encouraging. That is a very big improvement
Yeah, they
from
just
months
be
before.
bitching and
However,
crying.
we're still looking at dramatic increases on an annual basis, 165%. And we learned yesterday that the cost of eggs in the supermarket for consumers is still at all-time high.
Well, they're dropping, guys, and look at the time here.
They said it's still at an all-time high.
Hasn't been long.
Has not been long at all.
I just get tired of just listening to the Democrats, bro. You know that bond we was talking about yesterday? If that continued to go up, it's at 4.9. Probably finna touch 5%.
The index thing?
Yeah, the bond, the
yield?
the yield for 10 years, the U.S. Treasury yield, it just went up to like 4.9.
Well, guys, I mean, hey, we see the good things that the administration is doing. I mean, hey,
It's gonna take time, bro.
More than transparent, guys. Nothing I have seen that I just felt like it was a problem at all. Not one thing, guys. China did raise our tariffs to 125, though. That is pretty crazy. We are going through a tariff war for sure. It's happening.
You know what I think America need to actually do that everybody might not really think about this? We need defense against biowarfare, bro. They making viruses to attack us.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. I don't know. Well, I don't think there's no way we can fix that or help that, though. I mean, you know, people coming from different countries all the time. I mean, that's
I don't know how
COVID. That's how that probably got spread. I mean, you come over here with COVID.
Where it came from?
I don't know.
China. It came from China.
On what? What you said on some goods? On Walmart goods or something?
We don't know specifically how.
But you know, when you really look at
how can you stop that though?
When you look at this scenario and you know Trump put tariffs on them before and then all of a sudden all the tariffs are gone.
But how can you stop that though? Do you have an idea?
I don't know. I said they need to spend money for defense.
What's in the Biden defense budget?
Yeah,
they find a way somewhere towards that goes to that.
Though, how?
I have no clue.
Somebody that's smart enough in there to say, hey, we might need to defend against
Somebody's working on it, probably.
Somebody has to be working on that. Because, like, how COVID happened, bro, you don't feel like, to me personally, I feel like that was real life a global attack. No
It could have been. It definitely could. They already been saying it was made. It was live made.
And, like, think about how many people made money off of that. Like,
No, they have a video of Dr. Fauci's talking about like how it was some crazy video, kind of like how we had the Democrats, Nancy and them talking about it yesterday about how the China stuff, we need to fix that. He said the same exact thing about COVID, reversing about all the crap he's just been saying recently though. Yeah. He was like, we need to don't take like a vaccine that's so new or something like that. He was like, or he was talking about this stuff can come from China and all this. It's crazy, man. But I don't know how we can stop that though. I mean, that's like some very the technology would have to be insane for something like that. But I mean, hey, it's definitely
they got it somewhere.
It's definitely possible.
Somebody
maybe
COVID gun.